We're doing something a little bit different today. We're going to be giving you an insight into our working lives because we get a ton of questions about what we do, how we earn money, and how the hell we've been able to travel full time for the past 6 years. We're also going to be talking a little bit about this nifty little device.
We're James and Sarah, also known as the Whole World or Nothing.
After 6 years travelling the world, we traded in our backpacks, bought this old panel van and spent 5 months transforming her into Cassie, our dream home on wheels.
Make sure you've subscribed so you can join in the adventures as we hit the road and make the switch to full-time van life.
You might be wondering why on earth we're sat here in the middle of nowhere at the side of a reservoir with our laptops out. Well, unless you've been hiding under a rock somewhere for the past few months, then you've probably seen these products on quite a few other YouTube channels.
Jackery have sent us some products to try. We've tried them, we like them, and today we're taking them for a full test run out into the field, quite literally. But more on that in a bit.
So as we mentioned at the start of the video, we get tons of questions about what we actually do for a living and how we're able to travel full time. So how do we make money?
Well, our main source of income over the last 6 years has been our travel blog, thewholeworldornothing.com. We'll put a link at the top so you can go and check it out if you haven't already. It's got lots of good destination stuff on there and a fair amount of our van build too.
We built the blog up from basically a personal diary that was detailing our travels for our friends and family into what became a reasonably popular travel resource, and it was getting somewhere around 100,000 visits each month. That was pre-pandemic, and obviously when the pandemic hit, everyone stopped reading travel blogs because no one could travel. So that's when we decided to build a van and focus a bit more on YouTube instead. Now I'm fully aware that none of that specifically answers exactly how we make money, but without boring you with the intricate details, it's basically through affiliate marketing and advertising. The advertising is probably pretty self-explanatory. Companies pay us to place adverts throughout our blog. And affiliate marketing is where we promote products or services, and if someone clicks on one of our links and buys a product through that link, then we get a little bit of money as a kind of referral fee. But don't worry, that money doesn't come out of your pocket, the company actually pay for it, so you don't pay any more for the product that you buy in. If you go on our website, you'll find loads of links to products that we use and love, and the same goes for our van build videos as well, where we link out to pretty much everything that we use in the whole build. So on our site we've got 2 shops. One of them is for backpacking. We set that up ages ago, and it's got pretty much everything that you need to travel, really. Everything that we use, everything that we take in our bags, from backpacks themselves through to the stuff that we use every day, like water bottles and things like that. The other shop that we have got is to do with the van build. So as I mentioned before,
I just built that recently, I'm very proud of it.
It is quite new, and yeah, it's got pretty much all of the products and the stuff that we use. Our cooker, tap, sink, everything that we have in the van is on there as well. And both of those are a really great way to do the affiliates, because it basically groups everything that we use in our day-to-day lives in one place, and people can just go on and see the things that we've got in our van and literally click on them and buy them. And as we said before, we get a little bit of cash put our way for doing that as well.
The other good example of how we earn money through affiliate income is from recommending accommodation. So quite often when we have been travelling around a place, particularly where we've been spending quite a while in a place, like if we've been travelling, and then we stop in a place for a month or 2 months or so, we write guides to the area in terms of this is the best neighbourhood to stay in for this is the best neighbourhood to stay in for this, and we'll put accommodation links in there so that you guys know where's the best place to stay, basically, because we've already done the research. So you'll find quite a few of those on our website as well. We've just written one about Anglesey in Wales.
Another thing that we do, I guess reasonably regularly, is to work directly with brands. And the reason why I say reasonably regularly particularly is because we're super selective about who we work with. We get emails offering us stuff pretty much every single day, or multiple times a day actually, and it will be services or products that companies want to send out to us to try or to promote. But the reason we're so selective is because we only personally use a very small amount of things. You know, we backpacked for 6 years. We're now in a van. You don't have a great deal of space, and there's only a certain amount that are really necessary and are really going to be useful for us in our day-to-day lives. So that's the reason why we're so selective. The other reason behind it is that we don't just want to peddle stuff to the audience that we've built up. It's a lot bigger on our blog, obviously, than it is on the YouTube at the moment, but we still feel that it's important not to just sell stuff for the sake of selling stuff. You know, we're really selective because we want to promote stuff that we actually use and that we like.
we get like quite a few people saying, can you promote this tour? And we're like, well, we've never been on that tour, so no, because we don't know if it's any good. And like quite often it'll be in a country that we've never even been to either, so there's quite a lot of nonsense, I guess, like that we get approached with.
Absolutely. But the brands that we do work with, I suppose you can be assured then that these are ones that we really do believe in, and the products that we actually use and brands that we love.
Another way that we earn money is that we do sometimes write for other publications, so other websites. We used to do this quite a lot more in the beginning, before our website was as popular as it is. So that can be stuff that's travel related, quite often is, because obviously that's our expertise. But we do also write for a variety of other, or write on a variety of other topics rather. That can be on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, or just kind of one-off pieces, depending on what kind of contract with the company is. So in terms of who does what, at the moment I'm primarily focused on the website content and the associated social media stuff, and James is heading up the YouTube stuff, although you'll obviously see us both on everything.
I like that, heading up. That sounds really official, doesn't it? Basically, I make the videos. That's pretty much it. But the way that we used to do things was quite different, because the website was pretty much our main focus. We both used to spend all of our time doing that, really, mainly writing, although Sarah also does pretty much all of our social media. So that's Instagram, Twitter, whatever else social media. I don't go on social media, so I don't know about that.
No, because YouTube is kind of a social media, so
I guess so.
If you're talking to us on YouTube, you'll be talking to James.
More than likely.
Yeah, more than likely. And if you're talking to us on Instagram, it'll more than likely be me. That's kind of how it works.
So other than writing and social media, there's also all the technical aspects of the website, and that's something that I spend a bit more time on than Sarah does. I pretty much used to do all of that, and now Sarah's started doing a bit more of that now. She's mainly focusing on the website.
It takes me a long time to do stuff, but I'm getting there. I'm getting a lot better with the technical aspects of stuff, kind of behind the scenes of how you make a website look as it does.
That's very true, but it's also things like website speed, SEO. There's loads of stuff that goes into a website that you just never see as a user. Now, you'll probably notice that we have changed location again. We're also in different clothes, and the reason for that is that we filmed this across a couple of days, and we really wanted to give you an idea of just how, I guess, free our working life is. So sometimes we work in the van, sometimes we work in a cafe, sometimes we work outside. We can pretty much work anywhere that we choose to work. It's really dependent on how we feel on the day and what we're doing for that day, and we just set up, well, anywhere.
Yeah, don't think that we have like multiple outfit changes throughout the day, because we don't have enough clothes for that.
So something that we get asked about a lot, and I think there's a real misconception about this as well, is do we actually work?
Well, that's the thing, because it goes hand in hand, doesn't it, with travelling. Like, people quite often think that means that we're not working.
But what I would say around that is that we probably work harder than we've ever worked before.
Yeah.
It's just really different to what we used to do. So I guess the reason why we work harder than ever before is because we're working for ourselves, and also because of what we actually do. No matter what we're doing, whether it's out eating a meal, whether it's on the beach, whether it's just staying in, a hotel or some accommodation, or checking out a new location, we're always kind of on, we're always working, we're always thinking about how we can write about it, or noting things down to remember to write about, or we're filming for YouTube. So it's a different kind of work, but it's kind of always present, isn't it?
Yeah, even chucking some stuff up on Instagram stories, that's work. That's not something that I would do if it wasn't something for my job particularly. I'd rather be reading a book, for example. There's a big misconception, I guess, between things that we do that don't look like we're working when we actually are. How we kind of work on the most typical of days, I guess, is that we will work kind of in bursts. So rather than just kind of sitting at a desk for 8 hours or whatever, we'll do a few hours like really kind of concentrated work and then go out somewhere. Because we like being outside so much, we typically work like quite early on the morning and then go out for a few hours, and then we might do a bit more in the afternoon, a bit more in the evening. But we like to just be working when we're focused on working, so that we get as much done as we can in that period of time. Quite often we can get more done in a few hours than we can in a few days if we're not kind of in the right mindset for it. So we really try to focus on that and maximising our working time.
But that's not only across a day either. We tend to work in bursts for a few days and then have a few days off,
Yeah.
or it could be we work in bursts for a few weeks and then have a few weeks off.
Yeah.
That's something that we really tried to kind of cultivate and build over the past few years. We really wanted to feel like we were having time to ourselves rather than just working, and that's the whole idea of doing what we are doing. So it's something that we kind of really focused on, where we'd get a big patch of work done and then allow ourselves time to go out and just really explore and travel and do the stuff that we love doing.
So obviously, because we work for ourselves, we can take time off when we want, as Joe's just saying, and we can start and finish whenever we want. However, we are super organised. So we have monthly meetings where we go through our targets for the month and review the targets for last month, go through all our finances. It is a very organised way of working. It's not just willy-nilly that we wake up one day and go, oh, what should we do today? we have an exact plan that we're always working to.
Absolutely. We run it as a business,
Yeah.
and while we do enjoy what we do and love what we do, there's one main reason why we do it, and that is to, I guess, afford the lifestyle that we want. You know, it's not necessarily that we absolutely love having a blog or writing a blog or making videos. We do enjoy all of those things,
Yeah.
but if we didn't have to do them, we probably wouldn't.
No, we'd just be sat on a beach with a book and a pina colada.
Absolutely. I think we've talked a lot about the positives of what we do there, but as with any job or any occupation, there are a lot of negatives as well, and we don't really dwell on them, and I think that we feel that the positives outweigh the negatives as well.
Definitely.
But I guess a few of the things are that, well, first of all, everything's on us. You know, we work for ourselves, we do it all by ourselves. We don't have a team around us. It is literally just me and Sarah.
Yeah, if something goes wrong, like on the website, we don't have a tech team that we can go to and be like, can you fix this, please? We have to figure it out ourselves.
Exactly, and sometimes that takes days. Another slight negative, I guess, and it's something that we already touched on, is that it can be really hard to switch off because what we do and what we love doing are so intertwined. It's kind of impossible to separate the two, you know. We travel and we write and we film travel. So it's difficult to not write and not film it. And sometimes we feel like we just need to really switch off, turn the camera off, stop thinking about, you know, how we're going to portray this.
The best light for photographs.
Exactly.
Like noting down every little detail
Yeah.
that we've done, the price of everything, all that kind of stuff.
It can get tiring. So some days we literally just turn everything off and keep it to ourselves.
Having said that, we don't very often, in fact I can't actually remember the last time we did, take time off for an actual holiday, as in like going to a destination and not working at all. If we take time off, it's generally to spend time with our friends and family. That's how we work it. Of course, the other thing is we don't get holiday pay as you would if you were working for an employer or whatever. So if we're not working, we're not earning money. We don't kind of have the benefits of that, or sick pay or anything like that.
However, one point I'd make on that is that a lot of what we set up means that we've got passive income, and that means
Yeah.
that we do have an income coming in, even if we aren't actively working on it, because we've preloaded the work. So, you know, the website is always there. If people read it, then we're getting paid for advertising. If people click on a link, then we're getting paid for affiliates. So whilst we don't get that sick pay, we do have the security of a regular income coming in, regardless of kind of what we do. But that only lasts a certain amount of time,
Yeah,
and
you've
after a
got to keep
while,
up.
exactly, it all gets a bit stale. So you do have to keep on top of it and actually keep refreshing it.
Another thing that I guess people might see as a negative, we personally don't because it's a choice that we made, is that in our old corporate lives we used to earn a lot more money than we do now, but we've got a completely different lifestyle now. So, you know, we went from having a house and 2 cars and having holidays all the time, going out all the time to eat, and like just stuff that we did that we enjoyed at the time, that actually once we started travelling, things just changed for us a lot in terms of what we found out that we enjoyed doing more of. So yeah, we just, once we started travelling, went through kind of a massive lifestyle switch, and we just never felt the need that we needed to go back to earning the level of money that we were on before.
Absolutely, we've got completely different priorities now.
Yeah.
Earning a ton of money just doesn't really come top of that list for us.
For me personally, I don't know about you, but not having to set an alarm clock and drive in rush hour to work is like the ultimate benefit for me. We very, very rarely set an alarm clock unless we've got like an early external meeting, or obviously if we're catching a flight or something like that. But yeah, we generally just wake up when we wake up and then just start work when we're ready.
We do wake up pretty early anyway, though.
That's true.
We're usually up at about 7 o'clock or before. So hopefully that's given you a pretty good idea of what we do, how we do it, and why we do it as well. But if you've got any questions that are still remaining after all of that, then do drop them down in the comments below. We're more than happy to answer them, unless it's really personal, in which case we probably won't. But anything kind of general about what we do, we're happy to go into it in more detail.
So all that means is that all we need to work is our laptops, an internet connection and power. That's where the Jackery comes in.
We've actually been looking at these for quite a while, so when Jackery got in touch and said that they wanted to send us one to try out, we were more than happy to oblige. I should probably point out at this stage that this video is not sponsored, we're not getting paid to do a review, and that means that we're not obliged to give a positive review. So what we're going to be telling you is actually our honest opinions. If somehow you haven't seen one of these before, then you're probably wondering exactly what it is. And it's basically, think of it like one of those little battery packs that you use to charge your phone when you're on the go. And it's one of those, but on a much bigger, much more useful scale. So let's run through exactly what it does, how we use it, and how it might be useful to you as well.
If you're planning a van conversion or you're midway through one, it's probably not a replacement for your whole electrical system. However, what it is awesome for is a backup, or as we're using it today, to power electrical items away from your van. And while in reality we'll probably use it the most just outside our van so that we can work outside in our garden, so to speak, as you can see, the Jackery setup gives us the flexibility to work quite literally anywhere.
You might not have a camper van yourself, and you might not be building or even planning to build a camper van, but there are loads of other uses for it as well. So for example, if you're into tent camping, which is something that we used to do all the time, then it can be really handy because everyone's got these gadgets that they need to charge, telephones, it might be laptops, you know, iPads, whatever it is, and it's something that you can take away and it'll allow you to get off grid for a lot longer. We were in Scotland recently, and there was a family next to us that had been parked there for the whole time that we'd been there, which was 2 or 3 nights, and they kept starting their car and having to charge their phones off their starter battery in their car.
Really early in the morning as well.
Yeah, not only was it annoying, but it's really dangerous because they could have got stuck there. We've done that before when we've been camping actually, and we actually had to call the AA out to come and restart the car. Yeah. Slightly embarrassing when it was just a flat battery. So yeah, this is something that can really help you avoid those kind of pitfalls. We've got a 300 watt power bank and a 100 watt solar panel, and we were really surprised at just how lightweight the setup is. As you can see, it's also really easy to take around with you. One of the best things about it is that you can charge it via a solar panel, meaning you're literally getting free energy from the sun. But you can also charge it from the mains or your vehicle engine.
You can see here that currently 63 watts are coming in from the solar panel and 21 watts are coming out charging our devices. And you can plug devices both into the 12 volt output or the main socket. The solar panel also has a 12 volt charge point, so if you knew you only wanted to charge 12 volt devices, you could just use that independently of the power station. Our opinion of this Jackery setup is that it's a really cool piece of kit. It's a great addition to any outdoor enthusiast's gear bag, and we're really excited to take full advantage of how it allows for us to spend more time outside, even if we are working.
We think you'll agree that it looks pretty sleek too. You know, it's a really nice design. It's compact and it fits really easily into our garage area, so it's super simple to store. We're really excited about getting some more use out of it over the coming months.
Of course, having just explained how we make a living, there is of course an affiliate link in the description of this video below. So if you're considering getting a Jackery setup yourself, do consider checking that out and buying it through that link. Although don't hang about, because there's an awesome 15% discount on the battery pack at the minute and a 5% discount on the solar panel, but they're only available until the end of this week.
As usual, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new around here, then please consider subscribing, and whilst you're at it, don't forget to hit that little alarm bell as well so you get notified every time we release new videos.